Good evening and welcome to Pizza Roundtable, part of the I Need Pizza Club network, where every week, Tuesdays about 9 o'clock Eastern, we go through the general pizza news and goings on in the pizza community. I am one of your hosts this evening, Jim Mumford, joined by the legendary Will Dumas. Will, hello. Good evening. How
Hey,
are you?
I'm good, Jim. How you doing, man?
Could not be better. Could not be better. Been a few weeks. Any fun pizza news? You have a good Memorial Day?
I made some pizza on Memorial Day. I didn't even get to text you guys it yet, tell you
Man,
the truth,
that's how
man.
busy you were. Whew.
It's gonna be a good one. Actually, it's really fun. Actually, to tell you the truth, I was inspired by it a bit. I was kind of perusing some pizza posts of the past, and Christy Aaliyah had a post about potato on pizza, and so
Yeah, love it.
I didn't even get to bug her yet. I made a little inspired one off of that. It's cool, so I'll put that up. Hopefully, maybe tonight when we get off.
Please do. Yeah, you should. Potato
Yeah,
on pizza, very tricky, but when right, texturally, out of this world.
par baked them. I made them as thin as possible. Was the way to go, so that they could get
It's the way
crisp
to
up
go.
at the end. You know what I mean? So I loved it, dude. It was it.
Absolutely has to be. I love that. We'll unpack that when you send that picture.
All right.
Because yeah, I love, and I feel like a lot of restaurants are afraid to do potato on pizza because it is, you have to par bake it. You've got a window, and if that sits right, you can't put that in a pizza box, right?
Yeah.
Because you're gonna lose it. You gotta consume it the second it won't annihilate your
Yep.
mouth.
Yep. It's not a
But if done
reheater.
right,
It's not a slice in
no,
the window.
no, that is not a slice in the window. That goes from oven to tray to paper plate as soon as possible.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah,
Wait,
for
what
me,
about you? Wait, what
yeah,
about you?
right,
What were
yeah.
you up to, man?
Did nice pizza party over the weekend. Made some taverns. Always a hit. Listen, I have people over pizza party. It's taverns every time. It's what give the people what they want. And they love my tavern. So no, it was good. Good to kind of dust it off. It had been a bit. A lot of life going on here in this household, as I'm sure you can appreciate. So good to kind of slow down and fire up the outdoor pizza oven, which is
Uh,
also
I was indoor.
got
I was indoor.
you were indoor. Okay.
Outdoor is always. I mean, outdoor for you is gas or wood fire.
I have
Normally,
gas,
Right.
me,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Right. Then I'm okay with it. The wood fire, man, it's a tough beast to really get down, dude.
If
It's
you're
super
not
tough.
making 8, right, the it's right kinda not worth the squeeze, right? But, the gas, especially for a tavern, which cook quick and you par bake them, you can rock those out, so.
Yeah.
We have 7 wildly different yet awesome articles this evening. We're gonna go with, the most fun, I would say. You always start off strong.
Yeah.
Courtesy of Yahoo Life, viral Domino's video shows customers demanding a refund for pizza they always ate. And the comment section picked a side immediately, and boy, did they. So, video, if you haven't seen it, it's making its rounds. Video of an employee calmly refusing a refund. 2 customers ate the pizza. They came in. They were offered store credit, which I thought was pretty cool. Employee said, customers reject it. And boy, just the comments just eviscerated them. So, Will, in any circumstance, would you return something you already, con- you know, consumed? Like you
See,
go see a bad movie, do you ask for your money back? Like how does that work?
dude, I'm one of those like horrible return people where like I don't even return something that I just don't want, period. So I'm like, I don't want to return it. You know what I mean? And I feel like bad returning it, let alone if I actually used it
If
and consumed it. Like on top of that, no chance, dude.
I 100%. So, there is delivery insurance if you're not familiar with Domino's. And there are stipulations, certainly. Yeah, but having the, I don't know, courage to return something you've already, and trust me, the comments were much more cold than you and I are being right now. And I
I
get,
don't
right,
think
you might
so.
not love your experience, but man, these days it's going to be on video, and Twitter is going to have a field day with it.
I mean, listen, dude, not to say every dollar doesn't count nowadays,
No,
but
absolutely.
you have a bad pizza, you chalk it up to a full belly and a loss, and you move on to your next meal, right? You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I
At the
mean,
end of the day, how bad could it be if you ate it? If you ate it.
it's one thing if it made you sick, right? If there was some other, right?
Absolutely.
But it's like getting a car wash. Be like, my car's not clean enough, right? And ask for it. This isn't how this works. This isn't how the transaction works. So, well, unfortunately, I think the people who tried to return it got their day, and I hope but
The store
I
credit was more than generous,
more
even
than
to
generous.
start with.
Like
Like, come on.
I think that was very nice. I mean, especially if store credit, but
A free pizza, right? I
free
mean, you're
pizza,
gonna get
yeah,
another one.
can't beat that. Speaking of pizzas that I love this one. I saw it, I immediately thought of us. It's a courtesy of people, but really all over the place. Pizza Hut franchisee revives old school restaurants with nostalgic features like salad bars and red cups. So I don't know if you've seen this, Will.
Yep.
So Tim Sparks is converting over 80 Pizza Huts across the nation, so not just kind of regionally. We're going straight old school. Look at that picture, right? I love it. I love it so much. So first gut, right? Before I get into it, Will, that has to bring up something in you, right?
Yeah, my
Just
God, dude, absolutely. Just the nostalgia of anything Pizza Hut just sells me, dude. Like, I love it. It's beautiful. It's just like a real sit down time, have fun, bring up a childhood memory, right? Like, it's good, dude.
yeah, and I feel like Pizza Hut was definitely the neighborhood pizzeria for all of us growing up, and obviously pizza landscape has changed, but oh, I love it. The retro lamps, right, are back. The red cups, just that, right? The
Yeah,
little
right
the
there,
little
right there,
holders,
little
right
condiment
there,
tray.
right? I saw something else, a relaunching Book It, right, which is lovely, just a lovely. If you weren't born in the '80s like we were, Book It, right? You read books over the summer, you get a free personal pizza, which I mean that all the motivation I needed to get my read on.
I'm with you. I'm with
So
you.
I think this could be the move, bud. I mean, we've talked about it, but actually doing it more intentionally and with scale. I think, the big ones are always looking for an edge. This could be it, especially dine in.
Yeah, it's all those things where it's like I feel like we're hearing so much about pizza being quick serve takeout, right? Or like the super high end pies that we're talking about. This is just like I don't know, man, like old school restaurant trying to come back, but like has a distinct niche, right, and a purpose, and maybe you'd actually be willing to go sit there and spend some time and reminisce for a second. So I like the play. I'm interested in it, and to that point, we've definitely seen a few little dabbles of this, right? Where it was like, oh,
Yes.
we read an article about one location had like a throwback, but now it really seems like there's some real cohesion and kind of pulling that together. Like that's cool.
Yeah, it is. And it's the kind of place I'll take the kids to if there's one close, right? You go do it. I hope they have the tabletop arcade machines, and you kind of step back, and the nostalgia's good. Now, pizza still has to deliver, right? It still has to be something edible, or I'll ask for my money back once I'm done. But it's I like it, like you said, it's not one or two off in somewhere in Texas. This is to scale. I think that's fun.
I'm excited to see like the people posting of like I just like different pictures of pizzas coming back when people are like, I thought it used to be like this, but now it's actually like this. And is it really what I thought it was before? Does it still bring that same kind of vibe? Was it of a good quality back then, or was there something else to it? So I'm excited to see that discussion kind of unfold a bit when,
Yeah,
when people
it
start posting about them.
the spotlight will certainly be on the pizza, right?
Yeah,
Once the shine of the lights on it, right? It's gonna be fun. So certainly
yeah.
a journey we will cover here
The
on
light
this
on
here
it and
podcast.
the glistening Tiffany lights, right, from Pizza Hut there transposing down.
Oh my gosh, and just the red cups and the picture, right? And I love it. I love it so much. So kind of switching up a little bit, but I like this one talking about kind of new waves. So courtesy of Pizza Marketplace, cool technologies of National Restaurant Association show in 2026, which was last week in Chicago. So really, really cool, right? I had some friends who went to this show, and they cover a couple, I would say, kind of up and coming pizza trends that I just wanted to kind of rapid fire, by you,
Yeah.
Will. The first one is scheduling for multi-unit operators, which I think is interesting, right? So labor, right? Labor is such a battle, especially for in pizzerias, right, where you can't just walk off the street. So it's I would say more of like a workforce scheduling software. What do you think of that for especially, kind of your regional chains?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm interested to see kind of specifics and get more into it of like what the nuance here is, because like there's definitely some operators, like I mean names I'm thinking of like 7 shifts, right, and some stuff like that where you can
Yeah,
kind of building schedule into it. But interested to see it's coming into like a real focus right now for that. But yeah, absolutely need to do
yeah,
the more prepared you are, the better you're gonna do, right? And
right.
simplify.
It AI powered scheduling. I think Anna said like a couple things she would let AI in. I think scheduling, right, is certainly always a nightmare. Another nightmare, right? Again, AI review management platforms, right? So many reviews through all your Googles, TripAdvisors, Yelps, whatever it may be. And there's just an influx of things you have to monitor. They're letting, an AI platform really kind of take the reins and maybe do a little bit of watchdogging.
I think this is probably one of the best usage, right? Like, why leave it open to yourself to interpret when you can actually put real data behind it and kind of parse together all of those reviews and find underlying themes and tones? Absolutely beautiful use of AI, and like where I think you're going to find.
Right. And hey, let's say there was a problem, right? Legitimate review. Let's get that, adjudicated as quick as possible. See, I agree with you.
Absolutely.
Here's an interesting one. Sound for the modern restaurant. Explain restaurants need to, consider the music, right? You're not just putting on Pandora, right? And sometimes there's legal. So it's a curated music vibe for your pizzeria.
See, this one is interesting to me in that, like, sometimes I feel like places just don't have music that has anything, right? And sometimes I'm like, what is this playlist? I'm not really feeling it, but sometimes it really creates a vibe. Like, I mean, like, it can make night and day difference for somewhere there. It's kind of like sceney, sit down, right? Or like fast to go, and I don't care. So I'm interested to see where that goes.
Yeah, I'm with you, right? It certainly depends on the place, right? But
Yeah,
they cover brands Whole Foods, Mod Pizza, Cava, so it's kind of understanding it. And hey, there are licensing issues, right? Especially, let's say you're
absolutely.
playing an
Yeah.
unlicensed sound and someone posts on Instagram, right? There's sneaky liability there, so I agree with that. Next one, pickup boxes for guests and third party delivery drivers. So basically, a faster handoff, right, on your to go orders.
Hey, any improvement to packaging in general, right? Like, I mean, listen, the only way like we find better ways to ship things is like we end up reboxing them and putting them in a more efficient way to move them, right? So like
Right.
however that can get done from literally like dropping the pie into a vessel that someone else can come in and swoop up quicker instead of having to sit there, drop their bag, open it up, stuff it, look for something else on the shelf, grab this and that, put it together. Yeah, man, win-win for sure.
Yeah, same, right? And I feel like a lot of pizzerias and pizza makers. One of their big things is the pizza dies, right? Pizza isn't
Yeah.
meant to travel in a box for an hour, and anything you can do. We've talked about drones, we've talked about all the other stuff. But I think it's interesting. So we'll check back on that one next show. But again, AI being used a little more purposely, right?
Yeah,
Mm,
absolutely. Some of these are really hitting
yeah,
on like actual niches, right, of items. So I like it
right.
instead of just the broad AI bot of everything out there.
Exactly. Unfortunately, sometimes AI doesn't hit, right? So the other side of the coin, courtesy of futurism, Domino's partner robotic startup that was supposed to put human pizza chefs out of a job just shut down, right? So you're never going to replace the pizzeria maker. So Picnic, it's Seattle-based startup, um, you know, was developing robots, putting hopefully restaurant workers out of a job. So we talked about this, right? Donato's had, the robotic one in the airport.
Yeah.
But they it just didn't hit, right? It was the goal was a single worker to push out 100 12-inch pizzas in an hour by robotically distributing pizza toppings. And tried to get there, but ultimately, right, it does matter on the hands of the people, right?
We had this one hits the rave because like, we actually had talked to Clayton Wood here, right, who had departed,
Yeah.
noted here, departed and has had a successor, Michael, for a little while after him. But when he was first coming in, he was so enthusiastic about this and kind of bringing it together. And I was excited, what I mean, to see where it would go from that. So that's a tough one, man. I listen, I still live on the side of I'm okay with pizza automation, right? And all the robotics and the places where that is the type of pizza that we need, right? Don't
Yes.
put out
Food
the
food
artists.
court pizza.
Don't put
Right.
out the artisan for doing his craft and whatnot, but there's different pizzas for different spaces, right? So
And there are, and you can still use technology and make things quicker, right? When we were at Pizza Expo, all the new cheese graters and the the proving, and you can still use technology, but at a certain point, right there, you say there's a line. Let's food court pizza. If you want to put a pizza on a turntable with the sauce, great. Don't care, right? I know what I'm getting.
yeah,
But if I'm paying top dollar for a pizza, I don't want necessarily a robot to obey it, right? So definitely interesting, right? How you see robotics and AI coming in, what's working, and maybe what isn't being embraced. So
it's one of those ones too where I think it's just so industry specific, right? If you look at some of like we won't name them all, but like going through some of like the major salad operators, right? Like they're getting some serious benefits of automation when
yes,
you're seeing like a lunchtime crowd rolling through. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not upset when my bowl comes out in like 2 minutes and it's got everything I wanted in the right
yeah, it's
space
fine,
still. I'm like, all right,
great,
okay, good execution here, and I'm still happy with the quality of this. So I don't know, different use cases, different genres and styles of food are finding success there. So
yeah.
I'm not
Use
sad to see
cases,
Picnic
yeah.
go down though in this one though.
Yeah, I am too. And hopefully, right, they walk so someone else can run, right? That's how a
Yeah,
lot of these
absolutely
startups go,
true.
right? The first
Fair,
entrant
fair.
sometimes takes them the chin a little bit,
Yeah.
as we
Well
know.
put, Jim. That's true.
Thank you. Hey, we're gonna switch gears here by a heck of a lot. So we're gonna go out to Denver, and this is courtesy of Colorado Springs Gazette. A move over pizza, Turkish Pide hits Denver. So I want to describe this to you before you do it. How good does that look? So um kind of going through here, and I'm locked out at the moment, but so Pide is a kind of a pastry. It's a cheese and vegetables pastry. It's very similar to um pizza, but it's a Turkish kind of vibe. So first off,
Yeah.
Will, what do you think about that? I mean, that looks phenomenal, right?
This reminds me of like when I think of the Georgian like cheese breads with the egg dropped in it and the similar kind of shape like that. Like
Yep.
I am a sucker for that. So that this area of the world, like producing this type of bread, translating into pizza or wherever we want to, I'm sold. I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm happy to try that. But
absolutely.
I'm a sucker
So
for it.
I invite you to go through the click wall that I got kicked out of, but I do think it's really cool, right? And the article goes on to kind of tell how it's kind of becoming a thing, right? And they're mashing up two different kind of cuisines, right? And
Yeah.
putting on pizza toppings, putting on your pepperonis into something that I think is a little more maybe welcoming of something like this. So Will, for you, I know you have thoughts on flatbreads and California pizza and all that, but what do you think maybe about the appropriation of some of the culture, because we've covered it so many times here, right? Of this is this and this goes into there. What are your kind of, I would say, vibes, as I pull up another picture here
Yeah.
on kind of the mashing of cultures? Because some people
I
have a problem with it.
I love the idea of squishing them together, right? Like it's cool. If the idea of like experiencing something you might have some familiarity with, right, but with a completely different flavor profile is the coolest thing, right? It's the quintessential idea of remixing anything, right? Whether it be
Right.
music or food, like it's just like, dude, something somewhat familiar, something totally different. You put them together and you're like, dude, never would have thought of that like working or whatnot, right? So happy to see the highs and experience some of the lows that may come through if you don't,
Right.
it doesn't pan out, right? It's
Because
the yin and yang.
there are highs and lows. So here's the picture I was talking about, right? And it's again, Turkish flatbread, but hey, they've got the spice sausage, they've got pepperoni, they've got their cheese blend, and I love it, right? And if
Oh,
it plays honors both cultures, right? And it's not
yeah.
just kind of an abomination, right? I think it's really cool, right? And it's not a fast casual trying to make something happen, looking at you, Mexican pizza, right? But like, if it actually is something that works, this is the kind of thing I live for, and I'm going to travel for.
It's cool if it's not done just to do it sometimes,
Right.
right? Where you're just like, it doesn't need to just be macaroni and cheese hot dog just because I put them together. Yeah, I'm not saying that's a bad parent, but in general, just like you don't just have to put them there because they go there. Like these things can kind of go together. Like it's cool. I like it.
Yeah. So it's Pizza Pide Denver is the name of it. I welcome you to check it out. It all looks fantastic. But just cool. I love the cultural mashups.
Can we get a Pide recipe in the next iteration of a book coming out there, Jim?
Oh my goodness. You know what? Yes, we can. And between you and I and the lovely listeners, the thing that I think is the next project that's fun is finding the pizza adjacent foods in the world, right? Because they are, listen, a dough with things on it, cooked
Yeah,
hot, is not unique to Italy, right? But it's fun to see how those have regionalized and transformed and grown. And something like this would be front and center. Let's just put it like
it
that.
sounds like you have the opening of Must Travel for Pizza well documented now. I'm ready to watch the
I
documentary.
am, my goodness, Michael, you can produce it for me, but I am happy to travel. And the first couple places I'm going to travel to, courtesy of POQ Pizza, are Food and Wine names the 9 highest new pizzerias in the U.S. And I always love these. So just go through the list real quick, Will, and I'll get your thoughts. Five Dreams in New York City, One World in Jersey City, Salmonberry in Portland, Desi Boys in Chicago. Another mashup, by the way. So it's Indian
Oh,
style butter chicken. The Utica, it's fantastic. Frico on Second, New York. De Legna in at Noyo in New Haven. Zarella at Chicago. This one's cool too because they do a lot more of the mashups, right? So they do a spage artichoke, and I've seen their carbonara pizza, which is awesome. E. Manzanelli in Miami. Love it.
hmm,
Love to see Miami coming hot. And then Pizza
yeah.
Studio Tamaki in New York, which is a Japanese pizza maker. So kind of on the heels of the other one, Will, we're seeing, international cuisine kind of come into, the pizza world and excel.
Uh, Tamaki was one I was trying to get to when I was in Japan. I didn't get to it, but I've heard a lot of hype about them
Yeah.
when I was out there, and obviously the New York location opening. So that one's front and center. I'm interested in kind of getting over there and seeing if I can give it a whirl. I loved the kind of Japanese Tokyo style pizza, dude, when I was out there. So if that's coming to New York and that becomes a trend for any reason, dude, book me a seat. I'm
Yeah.
sold, man. Bring them
So
on.
so for us layman's people, what's a Tokyo style pizza? What's the different in the flowers and the
The flowers, I don't know that much for, Jim, to be completely different from it. For me, it was more just like the use of like salt on the pizza was just so
yeah.
different in terms of like how much more like in your face like that kind of was like a real like punch and hit of it, right? And just distinctively the kind of dough, right, with the kind of like pull, kind of on the back of the crust, almost like a little star kind of pattern to them,
Yeah.
all around. But at least from a flour perspective, I didn't particularly notice too different what everyone was
Okay.
using. It's something I got to learn a little bit more about still.
Yeah, I think right, right. Definitely known for punchier flavors. Definitely known for a little more dichotomy of textures, right?
Yeah,
And then Japanese flowers can, it really depends what they go, but they tend to be a little more nutty, I would say. Kind of like if you would use like a rye flour, would be kind of a good analog. So really interesting again to see, right? Listen, we've got, Japanese style. We've got, I've got kind of a classic old world Italian bun pizza. You've got, your classics coming in, but then you've got Indian style. You've
yeah,
got your wood fired. So I think this is really fun. May I mention, but One World does 14 internationally influenced pizzas too. So I think I didn't realize it up until this show, but maybe the international flair, right, where it's not a regional style like a Detroit or Sicilian coming big. It's
yeah.
the hey, we're taking another dish, another region, and placing that into pizza and doing like a fusion.
I feel like we've seen a lot, especially of the like. I don't want to use generic Indian themed pizza, right? But like that is kind of like what a lot of them are, at least from an
Yeah,
entrance
yeah,
standpoint for everyone. Coming up, I want to say like, see, one of the LA ones was like one of the best restaurants a year or two ago, or something out there for
yeah.
Bon Appetit, or one of the magazines for it. I can't remember it's like a hybrid pizzeria gastro pub type thing, but with the Indian pies, like that flavor profile, just like I'm obsessed with in general, and so like I think it works good on any kind of dough
It
from that
hits.
perspective, dude.
Again, right? Italy is not the only region that puts stuff on dough
Yeah.
and cooks it. So, all right, last article again, staying on the world stage, though hitting right back home with Domino's. So, courtesy of PMQ, Domino's bring back a devastatingly effective marketing strategy for summer 26. So, as you know, the World Cup is going on. Will so their emergency pizza giveaway is tied to the World Cup. If a player from the U.S. team receives a red card, Domino says it will help soften the blow by giving away $1 million worth of free pizza. So, Will, you're a competitive guy. I'm a competitive guy. You don't take the dive for the pizza though, do you? Have a red card. That's this game, next game. That's a big deal,
dude. I don't know about this. I feel like, to be completely honest, a lot of these promotions are tied to something more positive. This one feels like the opposite direction here. Like, I get the idea of like, we'll help you out, but I don't want to get in a red card scenario here, right? Like, come on.
Yeah, I almost want to say like if they avoid a red card, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to root for that, right? So I get easing the pain, right? That's their whole thing. It's the emergency pizza.
Totally.
I don't want to like
ease the pain in another way, man.
I
Make me too. I'm too tired to get out of bed because we scored too many goals, and now I want to order pizza, right? Like,
yeah,
well, I don't know
my
about the
vuvuzela broke from
negativity
blowing
here.
it too much, right? I mean, just like I'm with you. This seems like I don't want to be rooting for a player who has a yellow card to get another one, right? It seems,
Yeah.
but free pizza is free pizza, right? I can't control if it happens. I can control if I get a free pizza, and then when I eat it, don't like it, I'll ask for my store credit back, right?
I mean, like, dude, we've seen I mean, this is like a tried and true thing, right? Like, we've seen the emergency pizza kind of play
Huge.
that they've used many a time before, right? During the mailing list, like, sign up for it and you can kind of be for it. And I think a lot of the ones we saw before were like, at least the most recent ones, probably like Thanksgiving, right? Where it's like, I think there's a little bit more humor in like burning the
Yeah,
turkey.
right.
Burning the turkey and using your free pie and throwing up a red card and messing with Team USA the whole time. Like, come on, guys. I don't know about this one,
I don't
Domino's.
know, but you know what gets people in, right? Happy. Just they could, yeah,
Fair.
team gets shut out. Okay, fine, I understand that, right? But
Yeah.
Will, you're gonna post your potato pizza sometime on social media. Where can people find that? Now you
I
have to, by
will.
the way.
I
I
know.
put you
I
on the
know.
spot.
I'm at Funny Will with an IE.
I am at Jim Cooks Food Good. Gosh, I can't say it today. At Jim Cooks Food Good, wherever you get your social media. You can follow Pizza Club at I Need Pizza Club. YouTube, gonna be on Instagram, wherever you get your podcasts. Look us up there and all the other great social media outlets. Well, another fantastic episode of Pizza Roundtable. I'm look forward to talking with you next week around 9 o'clock for another episode of Pizza Roundtable, part of the I Need Pizza Club network.
See ya.
Good night, bud.